Tanks and heavier armored vehicles were instrumental in generating the initial success of Ukraine's Kursk offensive. Attack drone swarms, mobile anti-armor weapons, and hit-and-run ambush-style attacks have all simply decimated Russia's tank force, a development that continues to inspire international attention to the utility and potential combat vulnerability of heavy armor and mechanized maneuver. Russia never gave any warning when they were preparing to attack Ukrainian positions, but the Ukrainian army didn't need it. Ukrainian surveillance drones were monitoring Russian movements all the time. This time, Russia decided to launch an attack on Ukrainian positions with a large convoy of armored vehicles. In this video, I will show you the work of Ukrainian unmanned aerial vehicles, which ruthlessly burn and destroy Russian equipment that is on its way to seize Ukrainian lands. In gripping drone footage captured by Ukraine's 47th Mechanized Brigade, we see a small Russian convoy of 3 tanks and 1 BMP armored vehicle attempting to advance towards Ukrainian positions. Thanks to the sharp eyes of the Ukrainian drone operator, the Russian forces' location was identified from a distance, long before they could reach the front lines. As usual, the Ukrainian forces opted for a strategic approach, attacking from a safe distance. They deployed FPV drones to intercept the advancing Russian convoy. After the initial attack, the Russian convoy continued to advance, returning fire sporadically. However, their efforts were in vain against the relentless drone attacks, which managed to disable 2 frontline Russian armored vehicles. With their options running out, the surviving Russian forces were forced to retreat, abandoning their damaged vehicles. But the Ukrainian forces weren't done yet. They unleashed a series of mortar attacks, effectively wiping out the remaining Russian positions in the area. In the Donetsk region, we see drone footage from Ukraine's 414th Attack Drone Regiment, showing a convoy of at least 8 Russian armored vehicles attempting to advance on Ukrainian defenses. This longer video revisits the events that took place earlier, as the Russian army deployed a larger armored convoy, aiming to capture the village. However, their plan quickly unraveled as they lost 10 armored vehicles in the process. The operation began with a Russian tank leading the charge, tasked with breaking through the route. Unfortunately for them, the tank was hit and damaged by a Ukrainian FPV drone. After this setback, 9 additional Russian armored vehicles advanced, but the Ukrainian drone unit was already on high alert. They managed to destroy 6 of these vehicles, forcing the remaining 3 to retreat. But the chase wasn't over yet. The Ukrainian FPV drones continued their assault, damaging the retreating armored vehicles as they fled. In gripping footage, we see drone footage from Ukraine's 28th Mechanized Brigade capturing a group of retreating Russian soldiers seeking shelter in abandoned buildings. An FPV drone focuses on their location, and one of the Russians attempts to shoot the drone down but misses. The drone then successfully engages the Russian position, sending them scrambling for cover. Despite their attempts to hide, Ukrainian forces deploy a T-64 tank, backed by a Gurza drone unit, reminding everyone that buildings are not the safest of hiding places. With a single shot, the tank reduces the building to rubble, destroying it and the men inside. This decisive action near Toretsk effectively halts the enemy's advance. A drone from the 12th Azov Special Forces Brigade, part of the Ukrainian National Guard, played a key role in directing a 203 mm self-propelled artillery 2S7 Pion against a Russian assault group. As the Russian assault group launched an attack on the positions of the Ukrainian defense forces in the Toretsk direction, located in the Donetsk region. To transport their troops, the enemy deployed 5 BMP-2 infantry fighting vehicles, protected by anti-aircraft braziers and electronic countermeasure systems. However, as the Russian armored vehicles moved, they came under fire. The footage shows a coordinated effort involving drones and artillery, with one of the BMPs apparently hitting a mine. The video also shows 2 infantry fighting vehicles delivering an assault group to a building, where the infantrymen dismounted and took up positions in one of the destroyed houses. As soon as the BMPs stopped, they came under Ukrainian fire, and one was completely destroyed. The external crew of the reconnaissance drone began directing fire on the Ukrainian army's most powerful artillery system, the two S-7 Pion. The artillery strike was very precise, completely destroying the enemy-occupied building. With a hail of 203 shells, the enemy's chances of survival, even under cover, were almost non-existent. Ukrainian FPV drones have dealt a major blow to Russian supply lines in the Kursk region. Footage from the Ukrainian Requiem group shows a Russian Ural military truck attempting to deliver supplies to troops in the region. However, as the truck drives along its route, a Ukrainian FPV drone swoops in to disrupt the mission. As the Russian truck drives forward, the Ukrainian drone approaches from the front. The driver spots the drone and attempts to avoid the oncoming attack, but in the chaos, the truck veers off the road and crashes into nearby trees, coming to a complete stop. With the truck immobilized, the Ukrainian drone operator takes advantage of the moment to make a precise strike. Moments before the explosion, the Russian driver can be seen desperately trying to escape the vehicle. After the truck is destroyed, 2 Russian ATVs and a small van arrive at the scene, likely hoping to rescue the crew and salvage what they can. However, their efforts are in vain. Additional Ukrainian FPV drones quickly target and eliminate them, effectively ending the supply operation. Russian troops' attempts to improve their tactical position ended in failure. Footage captured by a night vision drone from Ukraine's 82nd Air Assault Brigade shows a group of Russian soldiers trying to break through Ukrainian defenses with 3 armored vehicles. Thanks to the drone's reconnaissance, Ukrainian artillery delivered a precise strike, destroying the Russian vehicle at the front line. A second strike hit a vehicle positioned at the rear of the convoy, forcing Russian troops to scramble and take cover in several abandoned buildings. Seizing the moment, Ukrainian troops deployed their armored vehicles and infantry to storm the Russian positions. With artillery fire providing crucial support, they managed to encircle the Russian troops and destroy their stronghold in the area.